Hey, what's up out there, YouTube? Double D with Tournage du Bois. Welcome back. Hey, today is a big day because we've hit our 100 subscriber mark. So first of all, thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Welcome to channel Tournage du Bois. So today, as a 100 subscriber mark, we're going to do a giveaway. So I have this piece of wood here. This was given to me by my friend Jim over at Garnered Wood on Instagram. I'll put a link to his info down below. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn a small bowl out of this, maybe a small platter. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do. It's not super thick, as you can see, so I'll probably try and start out on a worm screw and get this turned, so we'll find out about how big it's going to be. Maybe 6-7 inches across, give or take, so we will see what we end up with. But this is what we're going to do. So without any further ado, let's get this thing going. So I've got my center finder out. I'm thinking that's a pretty good spot for the center. So we'll be looking at around a 5 to 6 inch bowl. We're going to get this drilled. I'm going to get my circle marked out. Then we'll hop over to the bandsaw and we'll get it cut a little bit more roundish, and then we'll get this up on the lathe and get it turning. So we've got a rough circle. What I'm going to do is I'll go over to the bandsaw, we'll cut off some of this extra stuff, see where we end up, and then I'll get it drilled out for the worm screw, get that put on, get it mounted up, and we'll start turning. Got some good coloring in there. That's kind of exciting. A little touch of spalting going on, so we'll see what happens when we get further in. All right, so I got it cut, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to the lathe. I'll get that, like I said, drilled out for my worm drive screw, and then we'll get it up on the lathe and get it cut. Okay, so I've got my worm drive, and that will sit in the middle of the chuck here. So we'll get this drilled out, get that set up in the chuck, and then we'll get this mounted up. Okay, that's in there real tight. So I'll just make sure the chuck bits are real tight too. And we will get our... So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the live center, put it here in the tailstock, and then I'll use that to kind of brace this while we turn it into the round and start shaping the outside of this and see where we end. That'll give us a little extra stability. And what you want to do is you want to check to see on clearance around your tool rest before you turn it on, because the last thing you really want to do is have this kick on and slam into your tool rest. And then, so what I like to do then is I like to turn it on and kind of figure out about approximate starting speed. And so I do that until the lathe starts to wobble, then I back it off just a little bit. So there's 700 RPM. It's a little bit wobbly, so I'm going to back it down just a little bit. We're going to start off around 650, and then we'll get this started up. So we'll put on our mask, get our tool, make sure our tool's good and sharp, get on our mask, and then we'll start turning. All right, so I've got it in the rough shape that I want. Obviously, there's a little bit of tear out we'll be dealing with as we start sanding and go from there. So what I'm going to start doing is getting this closer in to get rid of this piece, so then we can cut our mortise in, and then we'll start finishing up the outside. So doing our sanding sealer, stuff like that, and then we'll get it flipped around. All right, so I ended up needing to go ahead and put my faceplate on it. The worm screw was just getting a little bit loose, so it would twist around and get a little bit wonky on me. So I've gone ahead and put my faceplate on. Hopefully I verified the screws don't seem to be too awfully deep into the wood. So I think we'll be okay on getting that without any screws. We'll just have to be really careful with the mortise we put in. So I'm going to try and get this finished up and get it flipped around. Here's a little trick my one of my friends told me, Jim over at Gardner Wood, who gave me the blank actually. If I throw the lathe into reverse, then it's a little easier to cut that angle in here the way I will probably need it for my mortise to grab. So I'll be reversing that to get that angle cut in. It's just a little bit easier to cut across, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I think I'm pretty happy with that so far. Got a little bit of tear out on the bottom, but that's to be expected, I think, with this piece. We got some good coloring through it. You can see some reds coming out. You got some spalting, which is going to be really cool, I think. So we're going to go ahead and start sanding this. So I'm going to start out with 80 grit. I'm going to work my way up to 400 grit on the sandpaper. We'll do some denatured alcohol once in a while to clean it up. We'll do some sanding sealer, and then we will do our Axe abrasive paste and probably our Doctor's Woodshop high friction polish. But we will start working through that. I'll skip through a lot of this because sanding is not the most fun thing in the world to watch. So we'll jump back in when we are most of the way done sanding and check in, see where we are. All right, got it sanded up to 400 grit. Did my denatured alcohol partway through, did sanding sealer just after 180, then finished up all the way up to 400, and then just hit it with denatured alcohol again just to kind of clean it up. So you guys get a good look at what the coloring is on this. It's just absolutely beautiful with the spalting and the coloring. I'm super excited about it so far. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my brand ready so I can get it logoed in, and then we will get this, we'll sand that up just a little bit, and then we'll start our polishes on the outside so we can get it flipped around and get the inside hollowed out and go from there. All right, that brand looks pretty good. So what I'll do is I'll hit it with some sandpaper just to clean it up just a little bit, and then we'll get the polish. Axe abrasive paste. This is the equivalent of about 1,000 grit sanding. So it's got a little bit of a grit to it, and it will work into the wood and then provide some additional buffing on this too, and really start to get the polish process started as well. So get this wiped on real good, and then we'll kick the lathe on to start doing the sand. All right, so I'm decided I'm going to stick with my axe process. So got my polishing paste. We'll do this on the outside of this, and then we will look at getting it flipped around. It's a really good shine. All right, I think that's looking really, really good. So we will turn it around and start hollowing it out. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit that with some denatured alcohol so you can really see how those colors are going to come out. And then we will get to sanding. I'll hit that again after I've done a little bit of sanding. I think that'll help clear it up a little. So once again, we'll start with the 80 grit, work my way up. I'll bring you back partway through when I hit it with denatured alcohol again so you can really see it. Okay, so as I was sanding, I started noticing that this was not real strong. So what I want to do, I'm going to hit that with some glue, and then I'll turn it again real quick just to smooth that back out. And then we'll get right back to sanding. So I use Starbond medium CA glue, and then I use my activator, which allows it to cure pretty much instantly. I'll let that sit for another minute or so before I turn it back. It's already hard to the touch, but that'll make sure it just solidifies in there real good. And since the lathe was in reverse, I just reached across and did it that way, like my buddy Jim showed me. Works really, really well. That way I'm not trying to lean across the lathe and cut back or anything like that. So we'll hit this sanding again. That coloring is going to be really, really nice. So congratulations in advance to whoever wins this. It's going to be gorgeous, I believe. All right, so I have it sanded up to 400 grit. I'm going to hit it with some denatured alcohol, clean it up real good, and then we'll put a coat of sanding sealer on it, possibly 2 coats. We'll just have to see how it looks. You can really see those colors coming out with the denatured alcohol, just getting in there and cleaning it up real good. I think 1 coat's going to do it. So I'm going to let that run for a little bit so it can dry real good and thorough and clean throughout. Then I'll come back just before my Axe abrasive paste. I'll knock it down with some Scotch-Brite just to kind of smooth it out, and then do the Axe abrasive paste, the Axe polish, and then we will take a look at it and go from there. And welcome back. I got my sanding done. Sanding sealer is on. I'm going to knock it down with a Scotch-Brite pad just to kind of smooth it out a little bit, and then we will get to polishing it with our Axe abrasive paste, followed up by our Axe polish. Our accent place, I'm going to use my Scotch-Brite pad to put it on to help get it started. And that's all she basically, we'll get that shine going. All right. I do believe we are done. Let's get it off this and take a look at it. All right. We got the project done. We got it off the lathe and all cleaned up. So it is just under 7 inches across, just at 1.25 inches deep. Flat bottomed platter, bowl, whatever you prefer it to be. Whoever wins this, congratulations in advance, because if I had known what was inside of it, this would be sitting on my countertop rather than be given away. However, because this is a giveaway, congratulations in advance to whoever wins it. So it's got some beautiful spalting, some red markings throughout. The graining is just absolutely amazing. Did use a little bit of CA glue on the grain end, on the ends to hold the pieces together on the knots. So it is a really nice bowl. Congratulations in advance, like I said. It's got the logo in it, so there will be some beauty shots up at the end. If you like the video, please consider subscribing to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button down here. And then there's a bell icon that'll send you notifications anytime a new video posts. Leave comments down below. Tell me what you think of the bowl. Tell me some things. If there's something that you think I could do a little bit better, I'm welcome to feedback, since I've only been doing this 4 or 5 months now. So it's been a journey, and I'm glad that I can share this journey with you. So please leave comments down below. Tell me your favorite part of this bowl, the video. Any feedback you want to give is, like I said, more than welcome. So just leave a comment. Let me know what country you're from. So in the video down below in the comments, put what you thought of the video, your feedback, and then put hashtag and the country you're in. That's what I'll be looking through for our comments to identify the winner. So I'll take those, anybody who comments that way throughout the video, and we'll put them in a drawing, and then next week we will have the drawing for the giveaway, and then you'll have whoever's name gets picked will have a certain amount of time to reach out to me, or else we'll do a drawing again. So that being said, like I said, here's your video, here's your bowl. Congratulations in advance to the winner, and make sure and share this with your friends. We are growing, and that's a great thing. And I look forward to continuing to see where this journey takes me. So have a great day. There will be pictures at the end, and we'll go from there.